I know where you're going, Leslie, and I don't think we want this published on the news.
You don't want to know that.
Do not put that in.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. Edit that out. Nana was the perfect grandparent. Well, she would always give us money when we went over. I don't know why, but we'd always get money. And I can remember I wrote a poem for her, which was something about, you know, grandmother pays you for doing the dishes even if you break them. And there was a period of time when I was a teenager where she was kind of a resource or something. I can remember, I don't know why I have this memory of just calling her on the phone and letting the phone ring and just knowing that even though she wasn't home, and in those days there weren't answering machines or anything, so the phone just rang and rang and rang. But knowing that it was ringing in her house was enough. In Nana and Grandpa's relationship, Grandpa didn't have a voice, literally. He didn't say anything. So she ran the show and he would just kind of go along with it. I think that Papa probably remembers him being a little more vocal, but I don't remember him being vocal at all. In fact, I remember as he got even older that one time Papa asked him what was his favorite restaurant, and Grandpa said, "Ruthie, what's my favorite restaurant?" So she definitely ran this show.
Now, my mother was quite the opposite of my dad. She was very outspoken and very aggressive. Rita and I were looking to buy a house in Nantasket, and I decided to bring my mother down and have her look at the house. And she walked in and gave a sniff and said, "Forget about it, let's get out of here." And when we got the report back from the inspector, it had a bad roof and everything was bad. So she was very intuitive.
It's hard to know much about Grandpa because by the time I came along, he was already really quiet.
Was he ever not really quiet, though?
He seemed to have more to say in that house.
Well, he was younger and perhaps not so sick.
Perhaps not so worn down.
Well, no, Nana could do that to you. Really?
She never wore you down, though.
No, because I have a different personality. Let me
Bobie always worked. She always worked. I mean, even when we were little, she used to, I don't even remember what, she used to do taxes at home. She used to, I think it's something with shoes. I don't know if she counted them or made them or I don't know what. But she always had some little thing going on, and she always keeps her money separate. So she always felt that she needed to have her own money and be secure. She didn't want to have to rely on anyone else.
My kids unfortunately grew up with a lot of bickering between us. But to me, it's just a way of life at this point. Doesn't mean anything. I just don't ever want to feel as though I'm being taken advantage of or being a doormat, which is why I stand my ground. Other people are a little more forgiving than me. Too old to change, Leslie. I'm just too old to change.
Did you tell the story about me and the roller skates?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That was a very bad thing.
Wait, what?
We were on James Road. She was the oldest of the kids. At about what, 9 or 10 years old, you think?
I don't know.
Something was going on in the house, like I was busy, whatever I was doing in the house. And she comes in, she says, "I want to roller skate." And I says, "You can roller skate later." "No, I want to roller skate now. I want to do it now." I says, "Well, I can't be out there to help you and watch you." I says, later I can. No, I want to do it now. And I was getting really mad. Finally I says, okay, you're going to roller skate now. So we go outside and she puts the skates on and stands up and falls. And I want to take them off. I says, no, you're not going to take them off. Now you're going to roller skate. And I took pictures. She was so unhappy. I was mean. That was mean.
You made me go like halfway to the heights on those stupid roller skates, falling in and kept crying.
See, but that's when I was willing to take her. I was willing to take her, but later. And later wasn't good enough.
Bobby has 4 grown children terrified of taking a jar out of the refrigerator and opening it if it hasn't been opened, just in case there's another one in the fridge that is open, because God forbid there be 2 open bottles of ketchup. You know, the ketchup police will come and arrest you. So you got 4 people, I don't want to open it, I don't want to open it, you open it. No, I'm not going to open it, you open it. It's very sad, very, very sad. What do you remember about Leslie being born?
What do I remember? Number 1, blonde and blue eyes. And I'm saying, wait a minute. Did they give you the right baby?
Except she was so big, we knew they hadn't there.
And I'd never seen as large a baby. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, except you said, don't worry, she'll grow into her face.
I don't remember that.
Thanks, Ma.
That I don't remember.
So if you had a second life after this one, what would you change?
I'd be a man, for sure. I would want to come back as a male. We had some good times.
We had some good times. Now that
Too bad we can't remember them.
Any other thoughts? No. Laugh. That's my advice. Laugh. I changed my advice. That's my last thought.
It was unbelievable. True story. Pay attention, go through life slow.
Bobby always wanted to be a Bobby until I had you, and then she said, I'm just not old enough to be a Bobby. So she tried to think of something else to be, and she went through, Nana, Grandma, Gram, went through everything she could think of, and for a while I said, why don't we just call you Judy? We'll call you Judy. And that lasted a few days.
I said to Beth, when she said she's going to bear a child, my first grandchild, she says, what do you want to be called? I says, oh, I don't know. I says, just call me Judy, which was ridiculous, but I didn't care. In other words, I didn't care, but obviously I did care. But I didn't know I cared until later. But Bobby is fine. One day maybe I'll grow into it.
And finally she decided that she would be a Bobby and she'd grow into it. Her mother was a Bobby, her grandmother was a Bobby, so she just wanted to be a Bobby.